Welcome back, fellow milk drinkers, to yet another Monday Milk Review. We are finally back in the new year, and we're going to be looking at one of the latest additions from Oak. It's the Oak Rocky Road. This one is exclusive to Coles, so if you're looking to try it yourself, you're going to need to go into your local Coles to find it. Now, if memory serves me correct, we may have actually seen Rocky Road a few years ago. I have a very vague feeling that we might have. I'm going to do some research and see if we have. So this is a pretty complex flavor. We've got 4 different elements that comprise Rocky Road. We're going to see probably a chocolate, marshmallow, cherry, and coconut. I don't think I'm going to be able to separate all those different flavors all at once. I reckon it's going to get pretty muddled up, and some of the Coles exclusives have been pretty missed sometimes, so, you know, I'm not holding out too faithful for this one. I actually put this one to a poll, and it's been voted on. It's been neck and neck between Raspberry and Rocky Road, and this one is just winning out right now. I needed to film, so I can't wait for the poll to properly end, but it was 3 ahead when I last checked. Thanks to everyone who got involved and dropped a vote. That really helps me make a decision on what you guys want to see most. But with that all aside, let's get straight into this milk, shaking it for roughly 10 seconds. Let's open it up now. Oh, wrong side. Okay, let's get that first sniff. Ooh, okay, so I'm definitely smelling the chocolate and the coconut. Those 2 scents really stand out to me. I can't really detect anything of the cherry, but I do think I could maybe be smelling marshmallow as well. That one is pretty unsure, but I am definitely getting hints of the chocolate and coconut. Let's pour it into the glass now so you can see what it looks like. You know, it's almost a bit of a shock and surprise to see it be such a regular brown. I don't know, I kind of thought it would be maybe a bit lighter. It's probably lighter than Oak's standard chocolate, but it just doesn't really stand out. I can already tell that it's got quite a decent level of thick and creaminess just from the appearance and the way that it pours into the glass. Oak always does a great job of that, so there's nothing that really needs to be said. But let's get into that flavor now, shall we? Okay, there's a mix of emotions. I definitely got the cherry in there. I don't particularly like cherry a lot, but I'm actually really surprised to see it in there. I can't get anything from the marshmallows. I think the marshmallows are just too passive of a vanilla flavor. It doesn't have enough profile to really stand out amongst all of the top contenders. Up against those 3, vanilla kind of tends to fade to the background. As I was predicting earlier though, the thickness, it's good. It's Oak's standard consistency. They always do a good job there. In terms of its richness of flavor, it's quite powerful. I definitely think this is the kind of drink that you probably couldn't down quickly. You probably want to have your time with it, otherwise you're going to get overwhelmed by this pretty fast. Just 2 mouthfuls in and I can already go like, wow, that's a lot. That being said though, I'm sure that there's many people out there who would happily down this in one go. I just personally find that the 600ml bottles are quite a lot to do in one sitting, which is why Oak recommends that this is actually a 2-serve carton. If you're interested in the nutritional information, I'll just be putting that on screen for you now. But keep in mind that the per serving is actually for a 300ml serving, not the 600ml. If you're wanting to compare to other 600ml, just double the numbers on screen. I think in all honesty, it's actually quite tasty. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be, but it's certainly not an amazing drink that I would think everyone needs to try. Now, my only critique would be that perhaps the coconut plays a little bit too big of a role in terms of the overall drink experience. I don't think the coconut really is a flavor that needs to be put at the foreground. I think that should be a little bit of a tertiary flavor. Chocolate definitely being your main one that you want to put up at the front. It's a shame that I can't really detect any marshmallow whatsoever. Cycling back to what I was saying earlier, I just think that's just because vanilla just doesn't have a large enough profile. And it does seem that stock is going to be limited, as I saw this and it was the only one on shelf when I visited my local Coles. So keep that in mind if you're looking to try it too, because you may need to explore a little bit. I do think there's a lot of room to improve. I would have liked to see the coconut go down a little bit, whilst the marshmallows to have a little bit more of an increase in presence. I think the cherry was probably as it should be. It's not super up in your face, but it's not super subtle either. It's probably the perfect balance for what they were trying to go for. And before we close this off, I've also heard rumors of Oak releasing a white chalk caramel flavor or something like that. I've kind of forgotten its naming. It's something like white chalk caramel, which some astute members of the Milk Drinkers may realize that Oak Gold is literally the exact same thing. I don't know anything about this drink, if it's real or not, but I have seen a photo circulating. So keep an eye out for that one. If anyone sees it, let me know down below so I can confirm and actually hunt that one down. But that about wraps us up for this week's episode of the Monday Milk Review. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this episode, please drop a like and maybe even consider subscribing if you want to keep up to date with all of the flavored milks that we try here. Thank you once again, and I'll see you next week in the Monday Milk Review. Bye bye!